Easy you lot. So today we are heading back to 1991, sampling with the Stereo Master for some all Amiga sound chip UK hardcore business. Now, if you're not familiar with the Stereo Master, it's a little beige box that fits onto the printer port on the back of your Amiga and has a mini jack input that allows you to hook up an audio source and sample straight onto the Amiga sound chip, and then go ahead and sequence that in OctaMED or Pro Tracker or any tracker that was out at that time, and make yourself some crunchy 8-bit music. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we've got Stereo Master open. I've got a bunch of records here, charity shop finds and bits of my mum's old records, all sorts of random stuff, and we're going proper early 90s jungle techno, hardcore style, and I've got to keep it primitive. I've got to think simple. We're going to keep 4 tracks in OctaMED. We'll build up some samples and chuck them on a floppy disk. I'll plug my SD box back in. We'll drag them over there, get OctaMED open, and we'll see what happens. Now, first, we're starting with this one. Now, I'm going to go pretty quick with this and just leave everything to chance. This is this record, found it the other day at a little record shop there, the $2 bin, and there's this this ballad. All right, so we're gonna grab that. I mean, even some of those chords would be good. All right, so let's get to the bit we need. There's our sample. Right, so what we'll do is let's just trim it back a bit, and we'll make sure, wait, magnifying glass here, I can zoom in a little bit. There's my one, so I'll just trim that down a little bit more, roughly at the moment. Zoom in. Right, I'm going to zoom out again just because I'm not sure if I missed the one there. So zoom in. 3, 4, boom. There's our loop. If I just bring this back here and zoom in again, and what we're going to do is we're going to increase the volume. Where's that? It's been a minute since I've used this one. Here you go, increase volume. Let's just smash it up and see what happens. Obviously we're going to bring up all that noise as well, but this is an experiment, folks. Let's boost it a little bit more. We can. Which one was that? It was this one, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's just really smash it up. Unfortunately, I can't get any more output from this mixer, so we're just going to work with this. Let's try and get a loop. All right, that is a dirty, dirty sample. Let's try and get a loop. Where was that one? It was like, it was there. Zoom in, right? That's not quite looping. Come out again. Go back to here. No, I'm going to roll with that, right? Let's save that one. Let's call it ballad. All right. Okay. We'll just fit what we can on there. Let's just keep going, all right? So that's that. Now, I know there was a piano on this thing, so we're going to go for some shorter samples now. All right, so I just found another sample here. Without the vocal. We're going to take it, right? That could even be good with the vocal. We're going to try and take a piano stab from in there, you know, something. That is a noisy record. Let's do it. Let's just try and take a stab. All right, this sample's saved. That's the previous one. Not quite a perfect loop yet, but it's good enough. We'll use these spectacles here to zoom out and see our whole range. We'll clear the sample. Let's take these back, trash the whole thing, and let's try and get that little piano. We'll speed up again, 45. And then we'll try another one of these records. And I'm going to try and speed up the process because I will run out of time. That one, I like that one. So save that as piano 1. All right, we'll save that as piano 1. Now, let's move over, do another one of these records, right? And yeah, I think I probably won't go in on all of them. Let's just find a string or something now. That piano. That's going to be wicked. That's a hardcore piano right there. That is going to make me happy. Let's do it, right? Record. That's beautiful, isn't it? Eh? We're just going to run with that. Save. It's another piano. We'll call it piano 2. All right. Go. Save it. Right, I'm just going to take a chunk of that. Let's clear our sample. Which one do we want? Why don't I take that one, because it's sort of got a tail at the end. Right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to... Let's find the thing. There is a thing where you can fade in. Look, fade out sample. There you go. Fade in sample. Let's... Oh, I see. Look. So if we select an area... Wait, let's select this area here. Because we don't want it to fade the whole thing. Look. Very nice. Look, that's beautiful, that is. I doubt you can see it from up there, folks, but that's giving us a nice fading on that area there. I can loop that in OctaMED. So let's save that. Save. String. All right, and then last of all, let us grab... I know at the beginning of this record there is some... scratching and a bit of chat. Let's hear it first, right? Right, that's all we need. Yeah, that last one will do me. Alright, so I'm just going to run you through. So we've got all of, I've got the samples now on the SD box, and I've loaded up the track that I started the other day. all I've got in here so far are, I don't know what octave I played these in. That's too fast. Just go down. Alright, we've got this break here. That one there. Bit of a Hoover sound. Classic bass there. That. Nothing in there.
Has now been officially confirmed.
That one. String. Yeah. Something reversed there. I think that's it so far. And together it's all sounding a bit like this. That's all I got so far, and that was real quick, just chucked a few things in there to get it going. Like I say, I'm thinking real primitive here, 91, 92, very much inspired by Jungle Techno Volume 1. There's a few tracks on there that just, oh, it's wicked. It's wicked stuff. All right, so what we're going to do now is we'll jump in and grab some of those samples that we just took from the vinyl. We'll load them in and we're going to start messing around with some stuff, right? There we go, there's our ballad. Let's bring that on. Load instrument. Wonderful. Let's go to the next instrument. Files. Let's load. We've got our breakdown here. There we go. That's what we want. Next, another instrument. What's next here? We can see that we've got our piano 1 and piano 2. Load instrument. That is just wicked. I love it. Next, let's get the other piano. That's great. All right, next instrument. Let's see. Piano string. Load instrument. Oh, I liked this one. Hey, I did. Alright crew, so I'm back. A little bit of time has passed and I've had a chance to mess around with those samples. Some did get used, some didn't, just because they didn't fit with the theme of where things were kind of going. And I'm just following the vibe here, not trying to steer it in any other direction than what I set out to do. I was trying to do a 140 vibe that would kind of not sound out of place on, say, you know, Jungle Techno Volume 1, if you know that compilation. It's got some Prodigy vibes. Just with the breaks I chose, I'd had to scrap some breaks just because I didn't like the way they were sitting in the groove. I found two that worked really well together, and of course I've got an Amen in there. Actually, let's do this. So I'll run you through the samples that I ended up using, right? I got this one. Oh, that's not at the right pitch. You know, got that one. We got this classic Hoover sound there. Bit of a donk bass. We got that. That's from a bunch of files that I already had in the SD box. We got the Fool's Gold break. All right. We got this.
Has now been officially confirmed.
Another one that was already on my SD box. This string, once again, was on the SD box. That was on the SD box. I've kind of cut that and reversed it. We've got an Amen. That's way out of pitch. All right, we got an Amen there. We got this one. That's from one of my records up there. We got the rap. We didn't use that in the end. Yeah, didn't bother using that in the end. What else we got? We used this Yeah, that was from the charity shop record. What's next? Nothing on that one, or that one, or that one. A desert flute. Very nice. Spin back kind of thingy. This is the chop. That's the second half of that wrap thingy there. Fool's Gold reversed break there. A nice 808 bass there. And then just some chops of this break. One from the snare there. And then this is from one of those public information videos.
Green.
Yeah.
Amber. Red. We have to stop.
Yeah. There we go. And it's a string sample there. That's that. Another little chop from that rap. We got a, because you know it's hardcore. This is one of the pianos from the record. Yeah, we took that. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I used. Yeah, what else do I want to say? So you can use the 19 commands to tell the sample to start from a different spot. For instance, the Amen, if you want it to start from the snare, you can find, you put 19 and then increments between obviously 0 and 64, I guess, and you can find different points in the sample to start from. Now sometimes it doesn't work. That's why on some of the other breaks I've just chopped it and made a new instrument of that break chopped from the snare. But OctaMED was telling me I'd run out of memory, and so I couldn't do that. So I used the Amen's normally pretty good. I found that 1925 was the spot, and we got this. And I also did that, so that was 39 there, gave me the, from the right, from the cymbal. All right, so yeah, that's what we got there. What else did I do? Simple volume commands there. Yeah, just to get this delay sound on this piano. Hey. Yeah, you know, that kind of gives a bit of an effect. And let me think, what else? So somewhere else there's something else. Oh, yeah, okay, look. Let's go back a little bit. I will play you the whole track in a second. Yeah, this. So that pitch down. So two is a pitch down command. One is pitch up, and then so that happens in the 1, 2, third line there. If you put a 2 there, it'll pitch down by whatever number you put in here. Now you have to play around with this, because depending on the behavior is very different when you're using MIDI, and yeah, I've found here it just depends how you've got your pitch bend set up in whatever hardware you're using. So you just have to play around to find what number's going to give you the result that you want. I found 1 was enough to make that sound just pitch down a little bit before it hit the next note. So we get this. Yeah, I did a little pitch up there. Now, when you're using the hardware, you have to put a 1, 0 to reset your sound. Otherwise, it will just stay pitched down. But it doesn't. It's not the same when you're using the sounds in the Amiga itself. I can't think if there's any other commands I used. Let's just play the track.
amber, red. Green, amber, red. We have to stop. Green, amber, red. Green, amber, red.